Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to explore an important framework in education called Kolb's learning modes and learning environments. Understanding these concepts will help us as a future educator to adapt our teaching method to suit different learners and their unique preferences. We all know that people learn in different ways. Some like to be hands-on while others prefer to observe and think deeply before they act. Kolb's theories gives us the structures to understand these differences better. So let's start with the learning modes which describe the ways people process and interact with knowledge. He identified the four modes, which are the concrete experience, reflective observations, abstract conceptualizations, and active experimentations. Each mode focuses on a different ways learners approach the world and process informations. First is concrete experience. This mode is all about learning through direct hands-on experiences. Learners who prefer this mode enjoy personal interactions and practical activities. It means that they want to feel and experience rather than think about abstract concepts and prefer real-world situations over theories or generalizations. Just for example, performing a group project instead of just reading about teamwork in textbooks. You actively work with your classmate to research, plan, and create a presentations together. This hands-on experience allows you to direct apply what you've learned about collaborations, problem solving, and project management. Next is reflective observations. This mode is all about the learners process informations by observing and reflecting. They are thoughtful and prefer to take a step back to consider what they've seen or heard. So they are more comfortable thinking about ideas rather than acting on them right away and focus on the meaning of situations rather than jumping into solution. The best example for this is keeping journal, writing reflective essays, analyzing case studies, or listening to debate. Next is the abstract conceptualizations. This mode is all about the process where learners think critically about their experiences and form ideas, concepts, or theories based on those experiences. It is when students move from concrete experiences to general principles or explanations. For examples, after completing the group task or project, you might think, when we divided the work evenly, the project went better. Or good communications helps us to solve problems quickly. So these thoughts helps us to understand what worked well and why. So we can use these ideas in future projects, and it is all about turning our experiences into a clearer understanding of how things work. And last but not the least is that the active experimentations. This mood is all about emphasizing doing and acting. Learning in this category enjoy putting ideas into practice and seeing real world results. It means that they prefer to take what they've learned and try it out in real world situations. Just for examples, they might enjoy participating in projects and trying out new ideas. So by experimenting, they learn through trial and error and improve their understanding by observing how their actions affect the situations. Now let's move on to the four learning environment that directly related to the four learning modes. For first is the effective learning environment. So what is an effective learning environment? The word effective is linked to emotions and feelings. This environment is perfect for learners who thrive on concrete experience which focuses on learning that happens through real-world experiences that involves direct interactions with the subject matter. So, how does it connect with the concrete experiences? Learning through concrete experiences means students learn by doing, like hands-on activities or real-life examples or situations. This connect to an effective learning environment because when students feel involved to what they are learning, it makes them more interested and more motivated. A positive and supportive classroom where students feel safe to try new things and express themselves help them to learn better. So when students can physically engage with the lesson, it makes them emotionally connect to the content, which makes learning more meaningful. And as a future educator as an effective learning environment, the rule is to create interactive to make the learning experiences personal and engaging so that the students can connect emotionally and practically with what they are learning. Second is the symbolic learning environment. So, what do you mean by the symbolic learning environment? The term symbolic, it refers to the abstract and theoretical aspect of learning. This environment is perfect for learners who thrive on abstract conceptualizations, which working with theories, ideas, and abstract concepts. They love to analyze, hypothesize, and organize informations. So how does it connect with abstract conceptualizations? Abstract conceptualization is when students learn through ideas and theories rather than physical things. This connects to a symbolic learning environment because students use symbols like words, pictures, or diagrams to understand these ideas. The environment focuses on using symbols to represent knowledge because a student uses symbols to think about abstract concepts to understand and apply the material better. Third is the perceptual learning environment. So what is perceptual learning environment? The perceptual learning relates to how students perceive and observe informations. It focuses on reflection and understanding by looking at different perspectives. This environment works best for reflective observation learners who value thinking and reflecting on ideas before taking on actions. So how does it connect with reflective observations? Reflective observations is when students think about their experiences to understand them better. This connects to a perceptual learning environment because students use their senses to observe and gather informations. Reflecting on these observations helps students to make deepen their understanding because it makes the learning more meaningful. And last but not the least is the behavioral learning environment. So what is an behavioral learning environment? The word behavioral it refers to the action and real-world applications. It it is the best for students who thrive on active experimentations, where they enjoy taking action, testing ideas in real-life scenarios. So how does it connect with the active experimentations? Active experimentation is when the students try out ideas to see how they work. It connects to a behavioral learning environment because students' actions are observed and to see the results. This helps students adjust their behavior based on what they learn. And as a future educators, in a behavioral learning environment, the rule is to provide with the tools and resources they need to experiment, while also giving them the freedom to test their ideas which allow them to take ownership of their learning through practical applications. To sum up, Kolb's learning modes and learning environment shows us that students have different ways of learning. Some learn by doing, others by thinking, observing, or trying things out. And by understanding these differences, we can create lessons that fits their needs and make learning more meaningful. And as a future educator someday, it is important to adjust our teaching style to help every student learn in a way that works best for them. And this way, we can create classroom where everyone feels included and supported. And I hope you've learned something valuable today that you can use in your future teaching. Thank you and have a great day.